This is just the beginning. Now we tame the gods. What am I reading? You know how mangaka can make any sport or niche hobby interesting and entertaining? Be it volleyball, ice skating, bartending, whatever this is, or just trying to become an average guy? Mangaka have a way of getting us attached to the protagonist's journey, regardless of what it is. It's the passionate characters pursuing their dreams that moves us, motivates us. I say this to say, I'd be fully invested in this manga if it were solely about Kunishige's pursuit to becoming the swordsmith king or whatever. Regardless of us readers already knowing the outcome, I'm freaking loving the execution. If you are new or a returning viewer to my channel, thanks for stopping by. Please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate y'all. After a few rereads of chapter 125, because I'll be honest with you, I'm a little slow, and if you were to quiz me on the art of Tatera smelting, the ancient traditional Japanese way of making high quality steel called tamahagane or tamahagni, tamahagane, whatever, and the process thereafter, immediately after my first read through, I would bomb it astronomically. I just walk out the room without writing anything other than a giant LOL in the center of the sheet. But now, it don't even look that hard. I'm in the wrong career and era. Did medieval Japan take kindly to black people? Anyway, this chapter, infused with Subaru's quirky personality and validating Kunishige's abilities, all the measures and risks taken into account to not harm any civilians, and Kunishige already surpassing the government's expectations in such a short time, really had me appreciating not only the intellect between Subaru and Kunishige, but the acknowledgement that success comes when preparation meets opportunity. It's amazing what humans can do when they have shonen MC levels of hard work and dedication. It's a shame this manga is going on a short hiatus, blue balling me and shit, but hey, Hokuzono, get all the rest you need and make sure the anime is everything you envisioned. I thank you in advance. Chapter 125 begins with the questionable text on the history of the Mikaboshi when comparing Prince Aryu's explanation of how his people survived to what was documented. It seems that there may be different interpretations of how they prayed to that giant collection of Dantanseki. If the documentation is correct and it's not Soga clan propaganda to make themselves look like the heroes, then human sacrifices had to be made for their god to answer their prayers. And I'm only inclined to believe this because back in chapter 119, we get a peek into Mikaboshi culture, and you can clearly see what looks to be a sacrificial altar in combination with the bug steroids for their 6 guardians to obtain the power of the Mikaboshi king. Fast forwarding from just before daybreak on March 27th to noon that same day, Joji, one of the men in a leadership position at the lab, tracks down Ocean's 4 to Subaru's smelting site. Joji warns the team that HQ will soon send more men to seize their operation and they'll need to forfeit the Dantanseki. But it's too late. The Dantanseki has been pulverized and it is currently being smelted. Joji freaks out and thinks about Princess Chiaki's prophecy of a colossal accident destroying the city, which was caused by tampering with the Dantanseki. But Kunishige reassures him that they took all the proper precautions to limit the radius of this unwanted explosion to 200 to 300 meters. It won't reach the city. Only the 3 of them would die. He says that, but I know Shiba would get them out of there easy. Within this chapter, we also get the reveal of Subaru's multiplication sorcery, showing us the textbook example of when you want something done right, you do it yourself. ranging from crafting katana to sushi delivery runs. Also, to Joji's surprise, the temperature required to explode Dantanseki has already been exceeded, and the only thing stopping this bomb from going off is Kunishige's talent. And the chapter ends with evidence that the steel purification is working. Character analysis on Kunishige. So, we finally found out what's so special about Kunishige's eyes. They're covered in a special membrane that allows his eyes to regenerate. So no, they're not quite like the Sharingan or the Byakugan. So why does Subaru say that this is his God-given gift? Well, much like how muscles grow stronger through the process of damaging and healing the muscle fibers, Kunishige's eyes work the same way. This especially comes in handy for a swordsmith who is constantly staring into hot flames for hours. Hell, I wish my eyes could do that whenever I'm sitting in front of a campfire. The more Kunishige's eyes get burned, the better his observation skills become. As artisans work with different materials, they become attuned to the fluctuations in the color and shape of the flames, the sound of the fire, the smell, the heat, and adjust the Tatera smelting process through precise observation. Artistic choices. The prayer. What's interesting about this sacrificial ritual is the manner in which the sacrificers were killed. Now, I'm no expert on the subject, but I feel like there are more efficient ways to kill your sacrifice other than carving a perfect circle through their bellies. I was thinking, as a change of pace from the typical untainted virgins as an offering, the Mikoboshi are taking the embryos from pregnant women. Interesting, right? But then I got a closer look at the bodies and they're as flat-chested as a whiteboard. So I don't think they're all women. And these holes are very reminiscent of whatever attack Prince Aryu used to punch holes through Mashiro, Hiroto, and Yoshinojo. So maybe whoever this is, the king maybe, used that ability on this unlucky bunch. I don't know if I could say unlucky. It seems like everything worked out, right? Their kids and their kids have a future. Had a future. Shout out to Akamura. I predict that when we get back to the present timeline, Chihiro won't be able to forge his new enchanted blade alone, and Shiba is going to have to bring Subaru to Chihiro to help him out. And that just seems so poetic. Subaru, the veteran, impressed by the young and talented Kunishige, will now be a mentor to his son, like Jiraiya adopting Minato, then later Naruto, as his students. I am amped by this chapter about smelting, of all things. Can you believe it? And the way it ended, man versus materials, fuck that fancy smancy smelting formulas and theories. There comes a certain point where technique cannot be taught or even explained. This high risk level of smelting is dependent on experience, feel, and all five senses. Now we tame the gods.